It's become a nice little series between you and Missouri State with all the postseason meetings and just the things that have gone on with you two.
Well, there's been some really good games over the years. Obviously, once you get to postseason, we've had some great games. We've won our share and lost our share. Teams have been equal. They do a great job up there. They got a beautiful ballpark to play in, and they've done a great job of keeping a lot of the best recruits in Missouri there. And it just seems like every time we play them, it's a battle.
Talking to Carson about his hand, he said it was pretty painful, but he's kind of adrenaline helped him. I mean, were you worried about him being able to continue playing? And
yeah, I was worried about it at first, and then I was worried about the swelling after that. It started to swell up a little bit, and obviously the temperature, it was cold. But really when it first happened, I was worried about one of those little bones being broken or fractured somehow, and just all the signs pointed that it wasn't, he was just going to have a deep bruise, and really if his hand didn't swell too much and get stiff on top, that he would probably be able to finish the day. I figured yesterday he would be sore, our day off, and then today we'll keep it. We won't do a whole lot with Carson. He's kind of on his own today. He said it feels fine to swing. Might bother him a little bit fielding.
He said he's ready to play. Do you plan to keep him in the lineup Tuesday?
Yeah, if he's ready to go, I want to keep him in there.
What did you like from your weekend starters, like Isaiah coming back last week?
Well, I just was really glad to see him throwing the ball, down in the zone with some consistency. Got ahead in the count. A little better stuff than I realized because looking at our charts and our radar guns, he popped a couple up there pretty good. I think he was 95 a couple of times, maybe hit 96 once. A lot of times with his arm slot, the board radar maybe a couple miles an hour slow, but he was consistently, in the low 90s. He threw a cutter and change up, and he spun that breaking ball in there a few times, and he pitched ahead in the count. That's what I really liked about him.
South Carolina came in with a shift on several of your batters. Mm-hmm. Had they shown? Did you anticipate that, and what did you think? Yeah, we kind of felt like they were going to play us up the middle a little bit on a couple of our hitters, and it worked twice. I think we got them one time on it, maybe two. One ball was hit in the hole over here, but it's they're going with what they see on paper and some of the charts that are out there nationally.
How about Keaton McKinney? You feel like he may be available soon?
No, Keaton may be not available for a long time, maybe for a while. We don't know yet. He's going to go see. It's nothing major, but it's enough to keep him out maybe the rest of this season and get ready for next year.
Do you know who Missouri State's throwing tomorrow?
Not yet. Well, I know who I think they're throwing, but they have their Sunday starter available as well since they didn't play that third game. But I think they'll throw their Tuesday guy.
What have you thought of what Caleb has done for you in this position? It's been really good for us the last couple of weeks. Being able to throw Bolden out there on Tuesday and just say, give us some innings. We have more pitchers available this week than we've had the last couple of weeks, just due to the way the weekends went. Starters went longer. We didn't use as many guys. So if we don't use him as long tomorrow, whether we just pull him because we pull him, or if he gets knocked out of the game, that would give us an opportunity to keep him on the roster for Mississippi State. But it's been really good for us, and I think it's been good for him. We're trying to develop another starter for the future. So hopefully he can go out and give us 3 or 4 good innings tomorrow.
How frustrating is? I guess it's supposed to be kind of cold again tomorrow. It's been pretty sustained. I mean, obviously major league teams have been dealing with it. Just how disappointed has the weather been?
Well, I think if we'd have had a lot better weather, our crowds would have been incredible with the schedule that we've had this year, and the teams that we've been able to bring to Fayetteville, and I think we'll still have a really good crowd tomorrow night. I think it's supposed to be around 70, and obviously it'll drop once sun goes down. So that'll feel like 80 to us, or more, the way we've been having to deal with this cold front that's been in here. And then, next week we have Texas Tech coming in on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that should be some more good crowds. So, it's like everybody else. Nothing we can do about it. We just have to play. But it has been a little frustrating, probably more for the fans than it has us.
How does it affect the batters, though, in the offensive numbers that you guys aren't able to put up in the
Well, it definitely hurts the offense a little bit. It's a little harder to swing the bat when it's cold. You don't have the quickness, but we've faced some pretty good pitchers. You know, I wouldn't use that 100% as an excuse, but it definitely hurts a little bit whenever you just feel like you can't stay loose. A lot of times it'll slow pitchers down a little bit, but I think all the pitchers have done a really nice job, both the visiting team and ours, playing in this cold weather.
What do you think the emotions are for Nate? Maybe I know he's coaching for you now and trying to get your team ready to beat Missouri State, but just facing a team.
Well, I mean, that's a tough one to answer, and I'm sure you guys probably asked him, but, you know, I've been involved in it, you know, going and playing my former teams, and, you know, especially when you know guys on the team, it makes it a little more difficult. And obviously he knows probably just about every player on the team, so yeah, I think his emotions will be up and down a little bit because a lot of times you feel a little guilty. You leave a team, and then there's guys you recruited playing for another team. But I think they get it and they understand it was a move for him that was really good for his family. So I think he'll just be professional, go out and do his job, and shake a lot of hands and hug a few kids after the game.
Has he provided much input on Missouri State's players?
Well, you know, I mean, we have a lot of input as far as. We've played them, seems so much over the last couple of years, and recruited some of those kids, and you know, maybe some little insights on maybe personalities and things. But as far as on the field stuff, we're in pretty good shape.
Who they got back? Berger and those guys, probably a lot of them have gone.
Thank goodness Berger's gone. Yeah, they got Ironman back. It's got center fielder back. I mean, they got second baseman back. You know, they've got 5 or 6 of their starters back. They lost some of their weekend guys. You're gonna recognize a lot of them, and that's why they're doing well. They have a lot of experience on the field, and you know, some guys that played in and out of the lineup last year. A couple of them now are starters, but for the most part, you know, take away 3 or 4 of their starters, they're pretty well intact.
How good do you feel about where you guys are as a team right now? I know conference play picks back up, but just right now, midway point of conference play as you get ready after tomorrow to start the second.
Well, I think the good thing is I know that. We haven't played great the last 3 weeks, and we're still, you know, hanging in there at the top. And I feel like, you know, we'll kick it back into gear. You know, it's hard to stay at a pace like we set out there against Kentucky. We knew that was going to happen again. I mean, it's one of those things. You know, you had nowhere to go but down, batting average wise and power wise, and teams get aware of it and they start really focusing on getting you out. But I think as a team that. We still have a long way to go, and we'll continue to get better. We'll get over the hump here a little bit. And second half, we have 9 games on the road and 6 at home. And then, you know, we have 3 more non-conference games. I mean, the season's just flown by.
Always talk about Ole Miss, and then all of a sudden you turn around and there's LSU again. They're always there.
Yeah, you know, LSU, they pulled one off yesterday, down 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th. And, you know, it starts off with an error, as usual. And, you know, and then a C&I single, and then the guy drops one in, and bingo, somebody hits a home run, and they walk off the field. So, you know, they knew that they were better than they had been playing. They've had a couple guys hurt. They're still not sure about their pitching. You know, we try to know as much as we can about other teams, but they have a great program. I mean, they're in Baton Rouge, and they get kids from all over the country, and they got a lot to choose from in that state. So, you know, it's no shock to me, you know, that they're going to be right in the middle of it.
You pushed some buttons on Saturday. You moved Shaddy down to 5, and it looks like it's a beautiful move. The flexibility that gives you, how did that make you feel being able to do that?
Well, it's nice to have some guys that are interchangeable, or, you know, don't panic when you move them around the batting order, or, you know, I just felt like, obviously, that we had to make a move. You know, you got your 9-hole hitter, you know, just seemed to be wearing it out pretty much. And I just really like his approach. You know, even when he's not getting hits, his approach has been really good. Not swinging at too many bad pitches. That's where he's really made an adjustment for the last couple of years. And so I just needed to put him in there behind, you know, some of our other bigger hitters. And, you know, fortunately, he made a couple big swings that probably helped us sweep that doubleheader.
How important is it to get Martin and Biggers going?
Yeah. You know, whether they hit 1-hole, 9-hole, 3-hole, Martin and Biggers are 2 of our best runners. We got to get those guys on base because they'll score. If we can get them on base, they can score. And, you know, I'm not down on either of them. You know, Martin's a young guy that's, you knew it was going to be a roller coaster with him. And I think Jax has been pressing a little bit and been playing good defense. So I flipped him to the back of the order. He actually hit 1 or 2 balls hard the other day, but it didn't really pay off for him. I mean, his better days are coming.
What's the latest on Cole Turney? Is he getting to close to where he could give you something, or?
Cole Turney's been fine all year, except for his arm. I mean, he's, there's just too many guys in front of him. I'm done. I'm fighting it.